All right, welcome back. Last podcast of the regular season here as we wrap up the podcast. The regular season as we wrap it up. A&B, Simo, GM, and Eagle here in studio. PG in Atlanta or Nashville, whatever he's doing down there. Anyway, boys, let's dive into it as we get ready for Championship Monday for the Div B and Sunday for the Div A final. Gentlemen, let's go with the Div B semifinal on Tuesday in Brossard. Underachievers upend DTM easily 40-12. And Spring Cleaning winning 25-24 victory royale. Spring Cleaning, that is now 2 playoff victories by a total of 3 points. So they've definitely have earned their way into the finals with razor thin victories. We'll go with the easy game first. Simo, 10 wars or less. Underachievers crush DTM, who probably had their final against Daboz in Papineau last week.
Crush is the right word. It was bad. DTM started off the game all around. Some bad throws, a lot of drops. The offense looked nothing like with the one that looked on the game of the week. They had no chemistry. They couldn't figure anything out. They had a bunch of guys who showed up late, like 5 minutes into the game. They missed the first drive or two. It looked a lot like the DTM all season. They're trying to get their guys together. They're trying to make something happen. Underachievers really took what Mario Pareca likes to do away. He was forced. There was a lot of fourth downs, some bad drops that really took the momentum away, and then they just looked not even frustrated, just like how do you say this?
Flustered?
No, it's like découragé there.
Discouraged.
Discouraged.
It's not really what I was looking for. But anyways, the guys just gave up on the game.
Exasperated.
Yeah, that's good. They look like the game was over earlier than it should have been, and underachievers. Listen, they played good. They didn't even need to play great. Dropped the mic, just killed themselves. They couldn't even put up more than 12 points, and even then, 12 looked tough.
Okay, not much to talk about in that game. Victory Royale, Spring Cleaning. Cleaning winning 25-24.
Great game.
Another great game. Great finish in how this all ended up to be for Spring Cleaning to clinch playoff championship run here. Jim, I'll ask you because you were in the eye of the storm because you played in this football game. Your thoughts on this game, how it went punch for punch with you guys getting a knockout.
Did you know that if you're in the eye of the storm, it's actually very calm?
It is. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right about that, yes.
So what you're saying is GM had no impact on this game?
Thank you. High five off air.
Perhaps, yes.
I mean, he did have an impact. The only convert of the game that ended up, being the difference.
Yeah, I'm really okay with that.
The winning convert.
The winning convert.
But the catch of the game came down to Don Shepard.
Oh my God, that catch!
Was it fourth down or was it third down? But it was N1. I think it was fourth. That was.
It was way overthrown, and Don put his hand out, but it wasn't quite up to catch the ball. It was out to catch it, and he just caught it like this, like his hand over. Oh,
the tip of the ball just stuck in the glove, and just brought it in.
I think
just routine for Don.
And it's funny that we're playing against Jordan McLaren, who's very, very good at one-handed catches. I think that the undisputed king of one-handed catches in this league is Donald Shepard.
What surprised me is that after that drive, you walked back, and I was like, oh, that nice catch, Don. I was like, yeah, I know. It was the most routine thing I've ever seen, and it didn't flatter him whatsoever.
So, GM, your thoughts on this game?
So it was very interesting that Victory Royale played a lot of man in this game. They tried to exploit some matchups, but in the process created new mismatches that I don't think they had seen in the week 2 game that they had played against Spring Cleaning. And I think that by the time they realized that what they were looking to take away wasn't what they were being beaten by, and they went to adjust, it was a little too late at that point. And a lot of the damage had been done because Pat Chenard had his swagger and his confidence. And I think when Pat is very polite and calm, he plays his worst football. And when he's got that chip on his shoulder and he's really angry and he plays really raw, strong football. And I think that Victory Royale put him into that spot, and he delivered.
From my perspective of watching the game, This was a typical spring cleaning victory. Like, it wasn't going to be a 45-42 victory. It was going to be one of those slug 'em, knockout games, grind it out, bare knuckles,
Knockout in the
sandpaper,
12 rounds sort of thing.
15th round, sandpaper style game, and that's what Victory Royale played into your hands.
Yeah, we would welcome that, and we'll welcome that again if
Yeah.
if that comes out to what it'll be against underachievers. But
And
it's a totally different game.
I just thought from afar, because I saw maybe one or two Victory Royale games, but this wasn't a really good mix. Like, chemistry wise, it wasn't.
There was something there. The first drive, you guys had a 40-yard pass to Nicholas Hart. And then the following play, Nicholas Hart got picked on for a 40-yard bomb to Marco. And just based on these two plays, the atmosphere, the vibe that we got from the game, the trash talking, the troopiness, you knew the game wouldn't come down to 50 points on both sides. Like, you knew there was going to be plays, and both quarterbacks didn't play their best football. Pat Chanel played good, but he didn't play excessively well. Neither did Phil Cutler. Phil Cutler had some mind-boggling throws, and at times I wasn't too sure what he was doing. But also, if you look at Pat Chanel, he went 14 for 29. Those are not amazing numbers, but he got the job done. Both quarterbacks had some up and downs, but what it came down to is in the second half, you felt like spring cleaning took like a leg up on Victory Royale.
Yeah.
Victory Royale were frustrated. The chemistry wasn't there. It didn't feel like, it felt like guys didn't buy into the system and just gave up on the team. Where spring cleaning, they decided to just wing it and let's just play. We're here. We paid for the season. We it's their 13th game. Let's just
Might as well, right?
Yeah, stick to it, and it worked out. It wasn't the prettiest of games, but it doesn't matter.
All right, Div A, Braves hammering Outsiders 51-32, and then Norgard winning 55-41. We'll get to that game momentarily. Okay, Braves over Outsiders. I'm not surprised Braves won, but I'm a bit surprised by how wide of a margin they won by.
Oh, that game! Oh, it was a blowout. It was not close.
It was not close at all.
It felt close on the first drive or so, and then the pick six from Sebastien Crisil's zone really created that gap between Braves and the Outsiders. And from there, Braves were unstoppable. Outsiders didn't have an answer. Even offensively, they couldn't score the way we've known Kevin White to score in the playoffs. And listen, it came down to the pick six created a gap. Braves never looked back, and they scored on every possession. Jared Taylor was almost mocking players on the field. There was this one play, he was running down the sideline, and he screamed at his quarterback, just throw the ball, which he did. And it was the atmosphere of the game where Braves were doing exactly what they wanted, and they could do whatever they wanted. And Outsiders felt outmatched.
Like Randy Moss, like when he like lines up, and even before like the ball, he puts his hand up, just throw it because he knows he's gonna get that separation.
That's how it felt like. He was so confident that he had this matchup and he was gonna burn him, that they just called for it. And it worked out, but Braves looked very good in that game, very good.
Okay, let's get to the stake of this twin bill here.
I mean the bet between me and Lance.
Norgard, and Con Artist 55-41. So the Cons had a tough start to the game. Dan Lazare looked a little bit spooked. Looked like a deer in the headlights in the middle of a nowhere road.
The game of the week is out. I'm assuming most people have seen it by now. To me, it really came down to that first drive.
Yeah, he looked spooked. Like he didn't play well.
Yeah, the play of the game was that tipped interception to Jalen Granison. That was the turnover that really
by Theo Jaya
killed the game.
Yeah,
but the tone setter was that first drive where Dan went 1 for 4, turnover on downs. He completed the pass to Paul Lapierre, who honestly was not covered the entire game. Didn't have the matchups they wanted for NR. Didn't have the matchups they wanted for Paul Lapierre. He was open every single play. NR was playing with that typical football 4-1 with that safety at 15, 17 yards, dropping back, playing.
They played with an edge.
Safety.
They played with an edge that worked for them.
Listen, they play well. There's no knock on what #NR did. They played really well. I just felt from the sidelines, what I saw was Paul was open, but even me as a quarterback, I cannot and I will not throw 15 or 20 targets to the same guy in the same game. And
it's also difficult to hit that, even though Paul's a big body, to hit that down the middle for Dan when he has someone big and tall like Kendall Myers who's blocking
Yes.
that
Had a good
specific
game.
passing lane as well. Yeah.
Strong
Kendall
game.
had a very good
Strong
game.
game.
He's a low-key, very successful rusher.
But that's the good Kendall Myers.
Yeah, but he uses his size because he knows Kendall is not the smallest dude.
No.
Like, he uses his size. He has a good wingspan. He's fast. He closes in quick, and he does. The times where he gets beat is when he's trying to play the pass too much.
Yeah.
If he settles down to being an actual rusher and plays a flag and puts a hand up, he's a phenomenal.
But that's the thing,
rusher.
though. Is that going to be the good, or is it going to be the irrelevant Kendall Myers that comes out where he drops balls on offense and just is nothing for the pass
Well,
rush
he
on
made
Sunday?
some great catches
He
early in the game.
definitely did. I agree.
That I think it was a second play of the game where he just got the right depth and made a good play offensively. Against Dan Lazaro, he had the size matchup going for him. He's taller than Dan with the
Yes.
wingspan. He covered a lot of field. It's tough for him to throw against, and he was a good difference maker. He really took some of the lanes away.
Reminded me of vintage Mokan.
Thank you. Yes, Eagle.
I was gonna say, what does it say about the no regard defense if you want Kendall Myers to rush, right? Like the coverage you have behind him has to be outstanding for
Which
him.
it
You don't
was.
want him there, and it is exactly
Which it
that.
was. There's nothing to deny about that, but I think we're also forgetting the counterpart to Dan Lazare and Corey Pecker, who had a really good game himself. You saw the
Corey
conversions.
had a great
Third and fourth down conversions really found the guys, and he wasn't afraid to go over the middle, and he did multiple times to Travis Moses.
You know what I like the most about Corey's game is he wasn't flawless. If you watch the game of the week, you'll see it. There's a lot of throws that were low, that were tough to catch. He didn't have his best game ever, but he played really well when it mattered the most. He scored on every drive he had. He used every guy to what they do best.
Mm-hmm.
Like Theo looked uncoverable in the field, but he managed to use the Moses brother Travis and Jordan really, really well on downs that I wasn't expecting him necessarily to go there.
Right.
Up to a point where Jalen Grandison felt useless on the field, which is crazy when you have such a talented player, not targeted, not involved more. Finished with 3 catches for 11 yards and 1 touchdown.
Well, that touchdown was a tombstone touchdown.
Oh yeah, like if you need a play, he's there, and he's a phenomenal player. But he wasn't needed, and that's how well Ashton and I played defensively.
Okay, so we have our finalists now. We'll go with the Div B first. Spring cleaning. They will take on underachievers on I beg your pardon, Monday night, which will be the 8:40 game. Is that what it is, Eagle? 8:40 Monday night.
8:40.
Underachievers against spring cleaning. Okay, so underachievers, we've talked about it all throughout the season. Great team, favorites, same team from Laval's finals from winter season. Here they are in the spring season. I'll ask you, Simon, first. Can spring cleaning pull the rug from them and win this game?
If it's a scrappy game and it's a similar contest where both teams score less than 30 points, then spring cleaning is a heavy favorite. Because when it's that close with the game on the line, Pachinaw has a way to just like he looks like his former Div 1 self. Whereas Dylan Taylor, that's when he's flustered and that's when he doesn't play well. So you got like the two complete opposite quarterbacks. But if it's a score for score, push 45, 50 points, then there's no stopping Dylan Taylor.
All right, I'll ask you, Jim.
The series is 1-1.
With
Spring cleaning and underachievers were one of the games that was played twice this
right,
season in B.
right.
Yeah.
So I'll ask you this, GM. From your you want to give me the jargon answer? Okay, fine.
Wasn't that the game that Dylan showed up late because he had to run to the
Yeah,
machine?
yeah. He ran from LaBelle from LaFleur's.
I'm pretty
Do
sure he's not going to run
you-
to this one.
Do you believe Dylan Taylor has enough in him to slay the spring cleaning dragon?
Yeah, the onus isn't on Dylan. Like I think everyone, including the spring cleaning, know that he's capable of it. It's more on spring cleaning to come up with those stops that they haven't gotten against Dylan.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in this version, you guys are not Goliath. I'm pretty sure like they're the dragon. If anything, I feel like spring cleaning is an disadvantage going into this game.
Yeah, Spring
And-
Cleaning are very much the underdogs. This is
Yeah.
this is the one against the 7.
Right.
Yes.
No,
No,
the third-
no,
the
they're
number-
the
the
3
third.
versus 7 match.
But
But they
still-
could have been the 1 had they won the.
But still, it feels like they are the heavy favorite, and you guys are Cinderella story coming from.
And I think that both teams welcome that. Like, I think they like being the heavy favorite, and that's what they're used to, and that's what they excel
Mhm.
at. And this is the point where Spring Cleaning really shine, is that when we're cast away in that sort of.
Do you think that
Afterthought.
victory over over Underachievers late in the season of Lachine gave you guys the confidence to say, yeah, we can bang out through these playoffs?
Yeah, it
and
was the
win?
difference between playoffs and not at that point.
Yeah.
So
So-
we didn't know that not Sport Campus, Prospect Squad were about to default. They were currently losing, and
Yeah.
then would lose again to us by not showing up. At that point, like, that game was playoffs, do or die for Spring Cleaning.
Right. So we look at Underachievers then, Simo.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Ashtub,
Mm.
Rod Mashtub. These brothers this duo has been a handful for opponents.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the one that you worry most in this football game for your Spring Cleaning?
Broad mashed up defensively. I think he has that ability to really disrupt plays, and he has that. He plays the sort of defense that quarterbacks tend to steer away from. So if you're looking away from Ramashro because you know who he is, you know how he plays, and you want to avoid him on the field, that's when it becomes problematic, because the other guys on the field are Theo Bekelis, Sam Mashtub, Jordan McLaren. It doesn't get easier, right? So if you're steering away from half the field or a third of the field because you don't want to go against Rod, you're focusing on a smaller field against more DBs. Odds-wise, that doesn't work well.
From a matchup perspective of brothers, the Mash Tubes, as someone on Spring Cleaning, the Mash Tubes don't worry me as much as the Bekelises, or the Bekeli worry me.
Nick and Theo.
Correct, Nick and Theo. I think that they're both Nick and Theo will have more of an impact on this game than Rod and Sam.
So
Most likely, yes.
how does Don Shepard pose as a problem for the underachiever defense? Because let's call it for what it is. Besides Sam and Rod, they're both relatively tall guys. There's no one else that's going to counter Don's height over the middle. A linebacker 5 to 10 range.
I really hope that, and it's something that Pat sometimes struggles with, is that he gets that tunnel vision of what he wants to do and where he wants to go, whereas that Don is a big matchup in this game. In the middle, short, against a team who play a similar defense to what we were talking about with No Regard. If Don is able to be open like Paul LaPierre was open against #NR,
yeah.
that's something that Pat needs to hit over and over and over again
Mhm.
until the defense changes.
Who can afford the least to throw 9 to this game? Pat or Dylan?
Dylan. The thing is, Dylan gets into his own head sometimes. Sometimes there's those interceptions that when we watched the Voss Finest last winter, he threw an interception and he didn't care. It's like, whatever, we'll get it back, we'll score, we're gonna put up 40, don't worry about it, and they did. When he played with STL, that one interception really broke him. And I feel like this season, well, there was this one game where he played terribly, but it didn't really matter anyways because they were locked and whatever. He needs to have that Laval's finest attitude, where if he throws an interception, it won't matter because the game's not on the line yet. Just go back to what you're doing. Know you're one of the best quarterbacks in this division. Doesn't matter if you make a mistake. Just go back out there, score again. You're going to be fine. If he gets frazzled and gets into his own head, that's when he starts to play bad.
John, let's go to Div A. Braves, #NR. Braves won in the game of the week, actually, with a Rashi Ben Abdicator quarterback-led No Regard team. So maybe throw that game out the window because it wasn't best on best for the quarterback position.
Which is phenomenal because we have no benchmark to go by on this game.
Exactly. And so obviously this is a different game, and now the talk is, and don't know what the truth is, but it appears the arrows point towards a very minimal roster for #NR on
For both teams.
Braves
both
also
teams.
missing
Braves
bodies.
too, right, on Sunday nights. So in this case, if Theo J cannot play because of his work commitments at Oshiaga,
which is fair.
Well, yeah. Look, work's work. You're not gonna drop work for flag football unless you are Gino DeFazio. But in this case, does this really put a serious bond on hashtag and RGM in their pursuit of winning the Div A title?
Yes. Braves, even at minimal strength, are super, super dangerous as we repeat, because it's such a stellar achievement to win a championship with 5.
A cup.
A cup.
A cup.
Okay.
A trip to Indianapolis.
Win a final with 5, which shows you what this team is capable of, and that was a much weaker team than this team.
Mm-hmm.
Even with possible absentees, I think that the loss of certain players to Braves is vastly, like, it's shadowed by the loss of Theo to hashtag NR.
As much as hashtag NR, they found a way this season to have everybody that plays a role and plays it really well, and they don't need one guy to be very successful. They need everybody to just play their game and do what they do best. But if you start removing pieces, then you're asking guys to overcompensate, which is not what made them successful in the first place. Whereas Braves, the roster is so deep that even if they're missing, they were missing arguably their best player in JD Chevalier against outsiders, and it didn't matter. They have so many good players that could fill in pretty much every position that Braves could afford to miss 1 or 2 guys, even if it's their top end guys, and still be a very competitive Div 1 caliber team.
Who's more? Sorry, go ahead, Simon.
Hashtag NR, they don't necessarily need Theo Ojea. They just need their 5 guys that they key on to play their respective roles.
So does Jalen Granson become more of a factor?
Yes.
He has to.
But again, I don't see these guys overcompensating for somebody's absence, because what they do right now, they do it really well. It's not just Theo missing. If they were, let's say they would be missing Jordan Moses, it would have the same impact. Is guys can't overcompensate so much because everybody has a distinctive role, and it's tough to fill in their shoes. They need all 6 guys to be there. They need Corey, they need Darius, they need Theo, they need Jalen, they need the Moses brothers. They even need Kendall. Everybody does this thing for the team that really works. If they're missing bodies, it's a formula that I don't see working well for them.
All right, GM, we look at Jared Taylor. If there is no Matthew Lepage this weekend for the game, who lines up against Jared Taylor? Would you go with Travis Moses, who probably is the better or the best cover corner for hashtag NR, or do you go with a cast of characters to give him a different look every time?
I think that a cast of characters is a good idea in theory, up until Jonathan Maher sees the matchup he likes, and that doesn't go well for hashtag NR, and then chooses to attack that consistently. I even like Jordan Moses on Jared Taylor for the speed for speed.
And he's got hops too, Jordan Moses.
Yeah,
He's got some hops.
that's the matchup I would lean towards more.
Both teams have won a Div 2 winter title. So whoever wins this Div A title, or you put them in that next category of elite teams?
They're already both in that next category of elite teams. It makes sense that they're in the highest possible division playing against each other. They're in that next category of teams.
All right, Mr. 4th all-time passing leader in FPF history. How many yards is he at now, Eagle? If you don't mind getting that for me, please.
Too many.
Well, can we look at the exact number for Mr. Simon Dagenet?
No, I physically can't. I literally don't have a database
I'm
in
on
front
it.
of me.
I cannot.
You don't have the FPF page on.
I'm not going to add 15 seasons in my head.
It's on the total, man, for records. You can
Not
see
for
it.
interceptions.
No, I'm talking about the yards
said
passing,
yards.
man.
Oh, no, that doesn't. Nobody cares about yards.
I do care for yards for Simon. Simon feels nice after. Kevin White is number 1. Simon Dagenet is
Well,
number
yes,
4.
Kevin White is number 1 by
36,309 yards. I thought it would be in the 22,000s or something like that.
How many yards? Who's the next one above him?
Marco Maciosha,
How many
40,456.
44.56.
That's a long
So
way.
he's not going to catch up to Marco anytime soon. So
That's
he
8,000
might
yards.
hit if he goes
And
according.
Paula Pierre is nipping on Simon's heels
So-
at 35 too.
FPF Cup, does that count towards yards in total?
Probably, yes.
Okay, so he might be 3 seasons away from 40,000. Could hit it. All right. So anyway, Jean-Marie Koipacker.
Yes.
Is this a mismatch, or is this closer than we expect in terms of the head-to-head battle?
Well, here's the thing, right? if Hashtag and R are missing bodies, does that mean Corey's playing defense?
It appears so.
If that's the case, then we're looking at Corey Pecker as a two-way player against Jonathan Mayer as a two-way player because they're both gonna have to play both ways.
Yeah. And
In that case, Jonathan Mayer is head and shoulder above.
Two-way player of the year.
Yeah, he had a stellar season. Braves have, if it's a 6-on-6 and everybody's playing both ways, I think that's when Hashtag and R has weaknesses, which is good for me, by the way, because I did pick Braves to win. So sorry, Lance, but no, I mean like a bet with Lance. But yeah, I would say if it comes down to everybody playing both ways, Braves are favorite due to certain guys on NR who shouldn't be playing both ways.
Jim, convince me before we get to our picks why Hashtag NR can win this football game.
Hashtag NR can win this football game if they end up being more than Braves. If Braves are 5 or 6 and start to get tired or have injuries and are worn down, and if Hashtag NR managed to show up with 8.
You know what would be crazy if there's a 5-on-5 final.
Oh.
5-on-5 final. Like the fewer players that are in this game, the more favored Braves are.
All right, I'll ask Eagle this question because he has a long rapport with this gentleman, Kendall Myers. Do you think he'll have a repeat performance of what he did on Tuesday, on Sunday night? And he was a force on both sides, sacks and catches for touchdowns.
No.
Okay. I'm sure that will be used in the quote. All right, it is now time for the picks of the week for A and B. Let's dive into it.
So we're gonna start with Division B. Brossard.
So
Monday night.
What's that voice?
Spring cleaning is in it, so Jim cannot make the pick. So the three of us will make the pick and score. Simon, why, and who do you have?
8:40. Underachievers. Spring cleaning.
Who and
finals.
This is underachievers' game to lose. They won't. Give me underachievers by 12 points. Not 12 scores, 12 points.
Well, look, I've kept with it. I'm going to stick with spring cleaning to win this football game. This will be a 25-24 victory.
Again, it's scrappy. Overtime or not? Just straight up converts?
No, it'll be straight converts.
Straight convert.
I'm taking underachievers. Chenard's going to throw 2 picks. Final score, 40-26.
Okay. By the way, Eagle, do you mind getting the Dukes of Hazzard song ready for me, please?
No.
If you don't mind.
I do.
You said no, and he asked, do you mind? So, sorry.
He says, can you get it ready? I
no,
said,
you said,
no.
do you mind?
I'm going to have
no.
the Mocon all douchebag team ready for everyone.
Oh, that's true.
Do you have it by position? Like quarterback, snapper, referee?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. All right, here we go. Div A.
I didn't do that much prep.
Not much. All right, Div A. Here we go.
All right. So we have Sunday. Was it 7:30?
Yes.
Sunday, 7:30. Yes, that will be Terry Tam, Mocon,
yours truly,
and Simon Dager on the call.
And Div B is going to be
Mocon, Sean Avram, and Terry Tam.
Yes, Sean Avram making his grand return.
Let's hope he is better than the number 10 commentator.
Yeah, hopefully he is.
10 out of 9.
All right, we got Brav and hashtag NR.
Listen, I'm biased. I have money on the line for Braves, so give me Braves. I don't want.
What's your scoreline?
Oh, a scoreline. I think it's gonna be closer, even though they're missing guys. I think hashtag NR has the potential to put up points. Give me 44-35.
All right, Jim, what do you got?
I have Braves as well. We were close to having a similar scoreline, but I have 48-40.
Man, I know what's going to happen. We're all going to be quoted on this in the pregame hype. I like Braves, man. I had them playing Monstars in the final from the get-go, and I'm going to stick with the Braves in the final. I had them win this football game by a score of 39-25.
Ooh, that's a big gap. Eags, what's your pick?
I'm going to go with Braves. I think it's going to be tighter than we think. And also at the same time, I'm going to use the opportunity to say that think back 5 years when No Regard entered the league and everyone's like, come up to Div A or Div 1 and see what you got. and look what we have. So that's something to be commended for.
I talked about it a little bit in my one of two articles for this season, not one of one, but one of two. So that's something I mentioned as well. That they're definitely up there, and I elaborate in it a little bit more if you want to check it out.
Okay, so Saturday, Monday, we will have both finals on
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, sorry, I'm so used to the format that I missed out on the winter season because of chicken pox. All right, here we go. It's now time for the douchebag Mocon douchebag team. So here we go. Gio DeFazio, you've made the douchebag team. Agree, boys? You guys are part of this.
Are we on the team?
No, definitely not. But you're part of the voting committee. JP
No,
Moreau.
we're not.
JP Moreau, you've made the douchebag team, my friend. Dexter Linton, welcome on the board, my friend. Douchebag of the year teammate over here. Respect your elders.
Drew
Kyler, you've made the douchebag team, my friend. Rare for you to make that team, my friend. That's 4. We got 2 more to go.
We need 2 more.
I got 2 more to go, my friend. From Grabouge, the quarterback himself. And you ready for this one?
Yes. I'm curious now.
The quarterback himself for Grabouge and Alex Campo on the douchebag team. Because he wore a DeMar DeRozan jersey for the entire season. I said, dude, you got to wear a purple shirt. And he only complied, I think, 2 games left in the season. All right, and we're at 5.
You need 1 more.
I need 1 more, my friend. You guys ready for the last but not least douchebag of the year?
It's coming, whether we're ready or not.
Oh, come on, GM. Show a little bit more excitement.
It's coming.
GM, come on.
There's nothing we can
We
do
have an
about it.
alternate now, which is me, apparently.
You're leaning towards that, GM.
You're a sub.
You definitely were.
I don't even make the douche team.
And the last but not least douchebag is the entire prospect squad making the douchebag team. You guys want something, and it's this trophy. Come pick it up from the armpit of St. Leonard for your trophy. They forfeited games, man. They showed up late for the entire season. Daniel Pierre, you are part of this team douchebag here. So there you go.
Honorable mention, lemons.
Lemons, sandbaggers, yes. You guys
why weren't lemons before prospect squad?
that's Peasy's
That's true. PZ hates on them.
yeah, he hates them all the time. All right, guys, it has been a blast.
Yes, it has. Thank you, Mohan.
13 weeks of nonsense that we've come together. We hope you enjoyed it. It's all in good love with this douchebag award trophy. We like to have fun with it. Maybe not. But anyway, Sunday, Monday, we will be there. If you cannot show up in Broadway, watch it live on what, Eagle? Facebook Live. We'll have it there. So we'll have live coverage with instant replay. So we'll have the A&B final Sunday, Monday, which will bring to you live from Broadway, Quebec. Without further ado, the match words, please, Eagle.
Good night, Division A. Good night, Division B. See you in the FPF Cup.
There you go. See you on Sunday,
Well,
Monday.
see you on Sunday, Monday first. Yeah.
Broadway, Quebec.